Hi, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I'm Elisa. My mom's sitting here in the background. Here to do another reading. The last reading that I did was like extremely dramatic, disruptive, climactic. So I'll see if there's been any resolution or movement since it was kind of a cliffhanger. All right, I'm just gonna shuffle one more time. All right. Okay. So we got the Star and we got the Five of Swords. So what this just made me think of, and this is really weird, but last night I got the Disney Channel from my mom, and so we've been watching these Disney movies, and this reminds me of last night we watched The Lion King, where at the end, like Simba, he kind of gets elevated. You know, there's like healing, wishes granted, like recognition. He kind of becomes the king. But, you know, he has to take out his evil uncle who, like, killed his father. And that's kind of the storyline that's coming through with this. So when I pull down this, we got the Six of Cups, Justice. Oh, my gosh. The Four of Cups and Movement. Oh, my gosh. This is totally like the Simba story. It's so crazy. It's like... you know, there's justice in some situation with a long-standing connection. So like for him, it was like with his uncle, you know, but for a long time, like he had been manipulated into like thinking that it was his fault. And, you know, so he was like out in the forest, just like chilling, like kind of trying to ignore his destiny that was right in front of him because
the Tokyo.
But then, you know, he like got this message from his father, remember who you are, you're the king, you know? And then he like had to accept his destiny and he had to go home, you know? And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. But then when we pull down this, we got the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. The Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands, and this new foundation. So it's just sort of like what I'm getting from all of this is that like the uncle Ska or whatever. So his uncle like killed his father because he wanted to be the king. And then he like banished him from the, you know, from the Pride Lands. So this is, it's like it's a story that you've seen a lot in the movies. So like there's this movie of, because I was remarking about how much the plot resembled this Guy Ritchie movie about King Arthur, you know, where his like uncle killed his father because he wanted to be king, and then he like was banished to like, you know, the like outlands, and then he ended up having to come back and face his destiny. And so once like he took out his uncle, it's like everything like opens up, like the Pride Lands like came back into like abundance, you know, people were reunited, like he became king, you know, there's all this love, happiness, there's a new foundation, and it's much more stable. But it's gonna require having to like face down this sort of like evil interference. It's so weird that we just watched this movie last night. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Mystical Shaman, because yeah, like I was saying, the last reading that I did was sort of like the climax where he had to like face his uncle, and they got in this like you know, big fiery clash, like on the rocks. And then, you know, it was really dramatic. Okay. So, here, so we got the child. This is really interesting. We got standstill. So this is a card of redemption. It's a card of second chances. And it's a card of new beginnings and like a beginner's mind. So it's sort of like, this is like when Simba comes back home, you know, like he comes back and now he's all grown up and it's a totally different situation, you know, but he had already kind of done all this work within himself. Like he's did this shift, you know, he spoke to his dad, he remembered who he was. And so when the confrontation came with his uncle, like he had already healed himself internally. So there was no question, like he just had to stand up for himself and for his mom, and like he just did it, you know. But that's kind of like what this is. Like it's just like things are changing, but it's like the internal work has already been done. So there's nothing really to do. It's just you're going to walk in this state of flow, and what you need is going to come to you when you need it. So like you don't need to like force any kind of outcome here. Like you're in alignment with, you know, Simba was in alignment with his truth, the truth. And so when the confrontation came, like it was like the universe or God or however you would look at it was on his side already, you know, like all the lions, everybody came up to like stand up for him and defeat the curse. Like there was like community, like the angels, like co-creating this outcome of defeating this family curse that had held him back. Okay, wow, this is a really heavy reading. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Light Seers. But yeah, you should watch The Lion King, or you should watch that Guy Ritchie movie with called, like, I think it was called Arthur. It was about King Arthur. I can't remember what it's called, but it was really, really good. And it was like really artfully done and talking about like narcissistic abuse within families and like, yeah, it's really amazing movie. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Like, okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Wow. It does look like movement. OMG. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords. So boundaries, you know, like Simba had to like take a stand and not let his uncle manipulate him and do all of his crazy stuff. Like he had to stand up, you know? I mean, you can't let people do this kind of stuff. We got justice, so this is good because justice being served. We have the Knight of Swords, so this is like a message or truth or clarity coming in. It's running in, like coming in fast. And then we have Knight of Pentacles, which is movement. It's like slow and steady, sustainable, solid foundational movement. So it's like justice is happening. Things are being righted. The truth is coming out, and things are moving forward, you know, but we also have the Three of Swords. So there's like this heartbreak and anguish. So like what I got is like, that was kind of like his uncle got in this fight with Simba, and Simba's like, I'm not gonna do what you did. Like, I'm not like you. And he like, you know, his uncle ended up getting in a fight, and then the uncle fell over this cliff. And so Simba didn't actually take out his uncle. What took out his uncle was like all of his uncle's demons. Like he had like colluded with the hyenas to take over the lions. So the like hyenas like kind of closed in on him, And it was sort of like his own karma that took him out. And so like that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like there is, you know, there is going to be some inherent heartbreak because there was like an injustice that has to be righted. So whoever did the evil deed is going to have to be held accountable for that. And Simba will have to draw boundaries because you can't allow people to do evil stuff. You have to stand up. Okay, I'm going to Woodland Wardens for a final, but this is sort of like,
I think
a major reckoning that's going down. It's like unavoidable. It has to happen. But on the other side of it, it's going to be like a new, much more solid foundation, and it's going to be way better. Okay, so we got the Crow and Dogwood Intelligence, and we got the Fox and Ivy Adaptability. So it's just like, the work has already been done. Stay nimble. Pay attention to the signs. Be smart. And be adaptable, because something big is coming in. But it's like an unavoidable part of a destiny. And on the other side of it is going to be redemption and a new beginning. It's happening. Justice. Wow. All right. Well, we'll check in soon with another update.